Hello everyone. I thought I'd pop on and do a 3-card reading and then also read out a little bit of the book and just have a little brief chat like I did the other day. So yesterday I took myself bushwalking and I went up to my favourite place on Mount Tambourine and visited a waterfall, and it was just such a spectacular day. I climbed up close to the loud water in the waterfall, sat on a rock, and it was just so loud as the roar of the water. Even though it wasn't a huge waterfall, this is the upper part, and then it comes down and then it drops. So I was like in the upper part of it, and just having that loud roar, and I just meditated, and there was just nothing that you could hear other than water. And I really loved so much of my visit. And then as I was climbing back up the walk track, I just kept getting the message, take off your shoes. So I took off my sneakers and walked the remainder, probably maybe a kilometre, maybe a little bit over a kilometre barefoot. And I squelched through the mud, and I slipped down to this tree that was over the road, and all these things happened. And I just connected with my inner child as I'm squelching through the mud. And I know it might sound a bit random, and anyone who is afraid of getting a little bit muddy might be horrified, but I was just so in joy and so grounded and so bemused, and I just had such a lovely time of it. So I thought I would share a passage that I'm reading out of The Wisdom of Florence Scovel Shinn, and I think that'll appeal to you. But first, let's do some cards. So I'm just going to ask, what message do we all need to hear at the moment? Anyone who is watching this replay, how can this message help them? Oh, I think this is going to be a bit of a big one, guys. So I'm just doing a 3-card reading. When I do personal readings for people, I do a pyramid which has 7 cards to it. So this is not a full kind of one. I don't have time to be doing that. But this still gives you like a really nice little how's things going to go for the day. And I quite often will just do 3 cards for my own personal things for the day in different card decks as well. I do love a simple 3-card spread. So the first one is the initiation card of Kairos. So this is all about divine timing. It is all about having strange lessons with time and synchronicities, and it's the timing of things within ourselves. So my last reading 2 days ago was really about like those things inside of ourselves that are bubbling up that needs to be looked at, like the patterns, the stories, things that need to be healed, like really facing that exam. This I feel like is really talking about tuning in also to the energies at the moment, and there is a lot of this going on, which I'm personally for myself and for a lot of other people as well. So with that divine timing, it's time now for us to be having this collective time in the planet of releasing. You've also got to remember it's the end of the astrological wheel. So we're about to go into Aries season. So that's the beginning of the wheel. So there's always, just before that autumn equinox or that spring equinox, depending on which hemisphere you're in, there is that ending feeling as something new is about to approach. So sometimes people can have like a bit of a death and rebirth. Some people can just feel like things are changing, something new's coming. So this card to me feels very personal though. So it's those lessons that have come up recently, and it's that feeling of, you know, finality. It's coming to an end, and this is all meant to happen with divine timing. So pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to synchronicities, messages. If you lose time, it's very normal. So if you're having like really unusual things with time where like you feel like there's been 5 hours and then you look at the watch and it's only been 2 hours and you're like, well, how's that happening? That's very much this initiation, kairos, divine timing. And, you know, I feel like we're taught that time is linear, but we know that it's not. And during these initiatory phases where there's a lot of energy, it's like time is a wave and expands and contracts, and it does weird things, and we just have to accept that's the normal. And, you know, even though they tell us that's not normal, but it totally is. So you might feel like you've lost time and gained time. It's all completely and utterly normal. You have the next card is the river. So this is surrender. So you need to become that leaf that's floating on the river and has non-resistance. So, you know, don't try and grasp onto the riverbank for safety, because you're just going to be making the lesson longer, because you are flowing. You need to go with that flow. So if you've, you know, been going through some really personal lessons and you're like, oh, you're trying to control things or work it out, why is this happening? I thought I've been through this lesson a million times. I thought I'd done this. Why is this coming up again? Stop with the mental chatter. Absolutely, just stop. It is what it is. I've been in a real period where it's like, I call it the void of creation. And it's that real divine feminine waiting to receive energy. And I'm in Aries, and I like to, you know, I like to understand what this is going with that. I've also got a really strong alchemist archetype. I call it the puzzle master, and I get all these puzzle pieces. And I like to see the bigger picture. But if you're in the void of creation, you can't see the puzzle picture because you're waiting to receive new pieces that you've never seen before, or to the puzzle pieces to realign. And that's really what it is going with that surrender, and really going with that flow, and just releasing, and just, it is what it is, and just be. The outcome card is truly beautiful. It is the self. Little pearl of wisdom in the middle, and all these facets of self radiating out. So whatever kairos is initiating in you with timing and letting go of things, it's to enhance yourself. That's why I said this reading is deeply personal. It's not about, you know, bob down the road. This is about something within yourself you're letting go of to allow yourself to shine more. If you've been having resistance about something that you've been wanting to step up and do, then you're in initiation phase to be really letting go of those last things, to like really be at peace with them, so that you can shine more, that you can have more facets of self. This can also talk about healing. If you've got something shocking in your life that's a huge thing, or even a small thing, but usually when it's an initiation card, it tends to be a bigger thing, you might find yourself just radically healing, and that self card is reflecting a healed facet of yourself now. And it always makes me so in awe of our psyche and our subconscious, of just when we let go of things. Because sometimes we try to heal something 50 times, and then, you know, when you least expect it, you try to do something and you're like, well, hang on, I actually don't feel that way anymore, and I've healed it somehow in the last X amount of months, and I've just completely let that go. And I always say to the universe, you know, I kind of like a sign, or I want a sticker or a trophy when I heal these things and let these things go, because how am I supposed to know? And it's very anticlimactic, because they're expecting like this big defining moment, but instead you find like you've quietly just let go and healed some aspects of yourself. So this card could reflect also that healing. It's a deeply personal facet of self. Now, the passage that I wanted to read out is from the chapter of the power of the word. And this part was talking about how we don't take ownership of our part of the co-creation of every lesson and everything. Like, we want to blame someone else, or we want to bring a story into things, but we are the co-creators of our game, and we speak the words, and we go into the emotions, and we are responsible for whether or not we attach belief systems to things. So I'm just going to read out: any inharmony on the external indicates that there is a mental inharmony. As the within, so the without. So we can perceive like an external thing is going wrong. This person's saying that, this person's doing this. But the internal inharmony is that we start to believe them, we start to attach stories, and we don't go into faith, we don't go into reprogramming those belief systems in our subconscious, and we then add anchor and weight to that belief, and we are responsible for turning an external thing into an internal belief. Man's only enemies are within himself, and a man's foes shall be they of their own household. Personality is one of the last enemies to be overcome, as this planet is taking its initiation in love. It was in Christ's message, peace on earth, goodwill towards man. The enlightened man, therefore, endeavours to perfect himself upon his neighbour. His work is within himself, to send out goodwill and blessings to every man, and the marvellous thing is that if one blesses a man, that he has no power to harm him. For example, a man came to me asking for a treatment for success in business. He was selling machinery, and a rival appeared on the scene with what he proclaimed was a better machine. And my friend feared defeat. I said, first of all, we must wipe out all fear and know that God protects your interests, and that the divine idea must come out of the situation. That is, the right machine will be sold by the right man to the right man. And I added, don't hold one critical thought towards that man. Bless him all day and be willing not to sell your machine if it isn't in the divine idea. So he went to the meeting fearless and non-resistant and blessing the other man. He said the outcome was remarkable. The other man's machine refused to work, and he sold his without the slightest difficulty. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that they curse you, do good to them that they hate you, and pray for them which spitefully use you and persecute you. Goodwill produces a great aura of protection upon the one who sends it, and no weapon that is formed against him shall prosper. In other words, love and goodwill destroy the enemies within oneself. Therefore, one has no enemies on the external. There is peace on earth for him who sends goodwill to men. And I just loved the appropriateness or the timing of reading this for myself, because I really felt that, how should I word it? With so much going on in my life and so many different things and being in that void of creation, I was sitting there going, oh, this could be happening for that, and oh, could do this, and I was going into external stories and then internalizing them and coming up with this and that and everything. But if I just bless the entire situation and take it back to that blessing of what is the right thing for the right person will unfold. So with any business, the right client will appear for your services if you're in that alignment and that frequency or frequency matching with your clients. There's plenty of surplus, there's plenty of people who are needing this and that and everything else. And if you just stay out of the stories and be ready to be of service, then everything is perfect. And the times when I've really wobbled is when I create an internal story. I internalize this stuff and believe in an external factor, but really it's me. It's me, the problem is me, you know? So I thought that would be really helpful and appropriate. So I hope the cards really brought your day, and I hope that reading, as I read that out, really helped. And we're just going to do a little finish with just a simple little breath work and prayer. So I want you to take a deep breath and release. And as you're breathing in, as you release, you're just letting go of all stress, all thoughts, fears, dramas, and just coming into center, into self. And I want you to focus on your heart, on your beautiful heart. And I want you to think of 3 things that you really love about yourself. 3 values, 3 belief systems, 3 ways of being of service, just part of who you are. And really focus on how those 3 parts of yourself, 3 aspects of yourself help yourself and others. Does the personality traits mean that you're more of service? How do you help others? How does it help you to be a better person, a happier person? And really feel into that with the deepest of gratitude. And I want you to bless yourself, bless your heart, bless these 3 things about yourself. And see how the ripple effects of these aspects of you ripple out into your friends, colleagues, society, family. Do they help Mother Nature? Really feel that deep gratitude for you. And build that energy up in your heart of understanding that you and just these little parts of yourself can positively change yourself and others. And take that energy of gratitude in your heart and just imagine it beaming out all around the planet. Imagine it swelling like a giant big balloon, going out into the quantum, sending that energy of gratitude that's in your heart. And imagine it like little sparkles of dust going and landing on every other soul on the planet. We are all connected through the energy and source. Every human being, every plant, every animal, every waterway, it's all filled with life force, energy. And you are a gift. Your mind can get busy every single day with 1,000 things that you need to do, or how you need to change this or transform that, or you're unhappy about this, or you might think you're stuck in sabotaging patterns, or you're a bad person, or a million dramas, the weight of the world. And I just want you to spend this moment to acknowledge that you're also a blessing in this world. You're a beautiful blessing. And you share your gratitude, and you share your services and your gifts, and you can change your life with something as simple as a smile. And feel that gratitude throughout your entire body. And take that gratitude with you. Thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed today. If this aligns and you feel like this message needs to be shared, please share it. It really helps me to spread the message. Sending you so much love. Bye for now.